The another method to determine the concentration of a substance is potentiometry. Potentiometry is an instrumental method of analysis where you can check the concentration of the substance in a solution by measuring its potential difference between the two electrodes which you are dipping in the solution, which combine to form a galvanic cell. In that, the one electrode is called as the reference electrode, whose electrode potential is a constant. For example, the one which we have already studied, that is calomel electrode or silver-silver chloride electrode. The other electrode is called as the indicator electrode. Its electrode potential is a function of the concentration of the ionic species. That means the analytic solution, or the solution which you are analyzing, whose concentration you are finding out. So to check that, we use a pH meter or a potentiometer to measure its cell potential. The electrode potential of the metal M, which is immersed in the solution of its ions, when the metal M ions in the solution are in equilibrium, it's given by Nernst equation, which we have already studied. So E is equal to E naught plus 2.303 RT divided by NF log of Mn plus. The electrode potential can be measured using galvanic cell. Standard electrode potential for the electrode will be known. So we can easily find out the metal ion concentration. Let us look at the principle of potentiometry. We have here the indicator electrode and the reference electrode, which come together to form a galvanic cell, which is dipped into the solution which we are analyzing and connected to the potentiometer or the pH meter, which is used to measure the cell potential. As the potential of the reference electrode remains a constant, as it does not change, the change is only due to the potential of the indicator electrode. But the potential of the indicator electrode, as we know, it is a function of the concentration of the ionic species in the analytic solution. Therefore, during potentiometric titration of the analytic solution, the potential of the indicator electrode is measured as the function of the volume of the titrant. So, how much amount of the titrant is required? We see a plot like this. A plot of EMF against the volume of titrant shows us there is a steep decrease here once the equivalence point is reached. Let us look at the instrumentation part of potentiometry. You take a known volume of the analyte solution, that is the metal ion solution which you want to analyze. You take it in the beaker. Then you drop in a magnetic stirrer, which is here. The reference electrode and the indicator electrode are also dipped in this solution, and then you connect it to a digital potentiometer. The solution is stirred well, and initial cell potential you have to record. The titrant is added from the burette in 0.5 cm³ increments. After stirring the solution, you have to record the EMF. This is the continuity equivalence point. The point which we saw earlier is approached, and as seen forms a rapid increase in the EMF. Moving on to the application part of potentiometry, let us look at the first one, that is acid-base titration. The equivalence point in the acid-base titration can also be determined using potentiometric titration. Here we use the pH-sensitive glass electrode as the indicator electrode, H+ ion, okay, and it is combined with the reference electrode, that is either calomel electrode or silver-silver chloride electrode, which together combine to form a galvanic cell. The electrode assembly is placed in the given volume or known volume of the acid, and it is then connected to the potentiometer. Alkali of the known concentration, you have to add it from the burette at 0.5 ml increments and stir the solution and record the EMF. The EMF will show you a steep rise at the equivalence point. Let us look at the next one, which you will be performing in the lab as well. That is the redox titration. Redox titration involves more salt solution and standard potassium dichromate solution, which you can carry out by potentiometry. More salt solution, you will be taking it in the beaker, and potassium dichromate, you will be taking it in the burette. So, the inert electrode like platinized platinum foil is used as a redox indicator electrode. So, the indicator electrode is the platinum electrode, and calomel can be used as the reference electrode. Reference electrode here is calomel, indicator electrode here is platinum electrode for redox titration. The electrode assembly, you have to put it together, dip it in the Mohr-salt solution which you are analyzing, and then connect it to the potentiometer. Before the titration, Mohr-salt solution will be having Fe2 plus ions. When a small volume of oxidant, that is dichromate, is added to the Mohr-salt solution, an equivalent amount of Fe2 plus ions will get converted into Fe3 plus ions, because of which a redox electrode is set up at the indicated electrode. This is the redox electrode which gets set up. This is the reaction that takes place. Fe2 plus ions going into Fe3 plus ions. Potassium dichromate acts as a good oxidizing agent in the acid medium. Okay, that is why this H plus is here. The electrode reaction is given here where reduction takes place. Let us put it in the form of Nernst equation. In the form of Nernst equation, we get it as E is equal to E naught minus 0.0591 divided by 1 log of Fe2 plus by Fe3 plus, or invert it and write it in this way. As seen from the above equation, the electrode potential of the redox electrode will depend upon the concentration of the Fe2 plus and Fe3 plus ions. As we move on with the titration, the concentration of the Fe3 plus ion will start to increase and the concentration of the Fe2 plus ions will start to decrease. Therefore, the redox electrode potential goes on increasing and the EMF of the cell goes on increasing fast, that is quite rapidly, towards the vicinity of the equivalence point. What happens at the equivalence point is all the Fe2 plus ions are now converted into Fe3 plus ions, and that redox electrode which was there, this electrode, it ceases to exist because all of the Fe2 plus are converted into Fe3 plus. So next, when you are adding slight excess of dichromate from the burette, a new redox electrode comes into picture, that is this electrode. Because of this, the solution containing chromate ions that are produced due to the reduction of Fe2 plus ions. This particular new redox electrode has much larger potential when compared to the previous one which was present. Therefore, at equivalence point of titration, there will be a steep rise in EMF, which you can see here, which helps to locate the equivalence point of titration. The equivalence point can be located how? By plotting delta E by delta V against the volume of titrant, that is the standard potassium dichromate which you are adding from the burette. The magnitude of change in EMF here in the vicinity of the equivalence point depends upon the concentration and strength of the acid and the base.
This is potentiometric titration. See, this is potentiometer. Why do we use potentiometer? Since we are measuring potentials, so potentiometer will be used for this particular experiment. What is potentiometric titration? We are going to find out concentration of unknown solution by measuring change in the potentials. So for this experiment, it will be given unknown sample. Here Mohr-salt solution has been given. You have to find out the concentration of this solution. Now first we need to add 2 test tubes of dilute sulfuric acid. Take test tube, then add 2 test tubes of dilute sulfuric acid. The sulfuric, why do we add sulfuric acid? Because to maintain acidic condition. And in the presence of strong acid, potassium dichromate acts as very good oxidizing agent. So that's why we add sulfuric acid. Now collect 2 electrodes. So here for this potentiometric titration, we use 2 electrodes. One is calomel electrode. This is calomel electrode, and this one is platinum electrode. Once you collect the electrodes, please wash it with water, distilled water. Wash it properly with the distilled water. Then dip it in the Mohr-salt solution like this and see whether these 2 electrodes are dipping properly. This you can make out here in any of the electrode, like here in platinum electrode there is one hole. If this hole is properly inside the solution, then that is enough. Otherwise we need to add little water, but here no need of adding water. This is microburate of 10 ml capacity. Close the knob, then rinse the burette with potassium dichromate solution. See, you are doing redox titration. Here in the burette you have to take potassium dichromate solution. In the beaker, Morse salt solution. So oxidation reduction reaction will happen. So rinse the burette with potassium dichromate, then fill it with the potassium dichromate solution. But slowly you have to fill it, otherwise you get bubbles. Take little above the 0 mark. Then remove this air gap. So adjust it for 0. Connect the electrodes. Here calomel electrode, actually it acts as anode. This is calomel electrode. So you can connect it here. Based on the color also you can remember this. Black wire, you have to connect it to black point. And red platinum electrode, connect it to red like this. And this is magnetic bead. This you have to put it inside the solution like this. And while keeping this microburate, tip of this microburate should be little inside the beaker like this. Don't dip it in the solution, just a little inside the solution. Now lift the electrodes like this and stir the solution for uniform concentration for 10 seconds. Enough. Put it off. Then dip the electrode. Take down this initial reading. So stir the solution for uniform concentration. Then wait for 5 to 10 seconds. Take down the reading. Then you have to add 0.5 ml from the burette. Just 0.5 ml. You have to add it like this. Slowly you have to add only 0.5 ml. Then close the knob and stir the lift the electrodes. Stir the solution for 5 to 10 seconds. For uniform concentration, put it off this stirrer, dip the electrodes, then take down the readings on the display. Then go for next 0.5 ml like this. So like that every time you have to add 0.5 ml till 8 ml sufficient. Till 8 ml more than sufficient. So every time you have to add only 0.5 ml. In case by mistake if you add more than 0.5 ml, if you add 0.6 ml, write 0.6 only, don't make it 0.5 ml. Okay, but please avoid of adding more than 0.5 ml. Okay, what happens here, at the equivalence point there will be sudden jump in the potential. So to avoid that, you have to add only 0.5 ml at a time. So this is an experiment. First you have to take the solution, unknown solution from the main table, then add 2 test tubes of dilute sulfuric acid, then connect the electrodes, platinum electrode and calomel electrode, fill your burette with the potassium dichromate solution, take down the initial reading, then add 0.5 ml every time, stir the solution, wait for 5 to 10 seconds, then take the value till 8 ml.